Villages Stormheart Ironthorn. The wind tasted of ash and regret. Not a good sign. Villages Ironthorn, though most just call me Stormheart, adjusted the grip on my longbow. My grandmother, Old Willow, used to say a hunter's hands should feel like an extension of the forest itself. Mine felt weary. It had been months since the first reports villages emptied, livestock vanished, a chilling stillness descending upon the Whisperwood. Now even the birds were silent. This wasn't the work of wolves or bears or anything natural. This was something unmade. Old Man Tiber, the last soul in Oakhaven, had spoken of shadows moving in the moonlight, of eyes burning with a cold blue fire. He described them as the Returned. The army of King AIart, defeated centuries ago, now rising again. A fool's tale, I'd thought, until I saw the first one. It wasn't a creature of flesh and blood, but of bone and shadow, animated by a malevolent force. Its touch, it stole the warmth, leaving only a hollow ache. I loosed an arrow, tipped with silver, and watched it pass through the thing as if it was smoke. The silver hadn't harmed it, but it slowed it. That was something. I began to hunt them, not for sport, but for understanding. Each encounter revealed more about their nature. They were drawn to places of sorrow, to forgotten battlefields, to the lingering pain of the past. And they were growing in number. I followed their trail deeper into the Whisperwood, towards the Black Mire, a place even the bravest woodsman avoided. Old legends spoke of a cursed fortress hidden within, where AIart had made his last stand. That fortress, it was calling to them. The fortress was worse than the legends described. A jagged silhouette against the perpetually overcast sky, choked with thorny vines and an aura of palpable despair. The Returned were gathering there, hundreds of them, coalescing around a central tower. And at the tower's peak a figure, not a shambling horror like the others, but a king, wreathed in shadow, his eyes burning with ancient malice. AIart, he wasn't rebuilding an army. He was remembering one, drawing strength from the echoes of forgotten wars. I knew then that arrows wouldn't be enough. I sought out the Whisperwood's oldest spirit, a dryad bound to a gnarled oak older than any kingdom. She told me of a way to sever AIart's connection to the past, a ritual requiring the heartwood blossom, a flower that bloomed only under the light of the blood moon, and the tears of remembrance crystallized sorrow gathered from those who had lost loved ones to AIart's original war. It was a desperate gamble, a journey into the heart of sorrow itself. But if I failed, the Whisperwood and all the lands beyond would become a kingdom of the undead. I notched another arrow, not for a hunt, but for a war against ghosts. The blood moon rose, bathing the fortress in a crimson glow. I fought my way through the ranks of the Returned, each step a defiance of the encroaching darkness. I reached the central tower, the air thick with the stench of decay and the weight of forgotten grief. AIart awaited me, a spectral king radiating cold power. He offered me a place at his side, a chance to rule a kingdom of the unliving. I refused. I raised the heartwood blossom and released the tears of remembrance. A wave of sorrow washed over the fortress, disrupting AIart's hold on the past, severing his connection to the unliving. He screamed, a sound that echoed through the ages, then dissolved into shadow. The Returned crumbled to dust. The Whisperwood was silent once more, but this time it was a silence of peace. The sun rose, painting the sky with hues of gold and rose. I stood among the ruins of the fortress, weary but alive. The Whisperwood was healing, slowly but surely. The scent of pine and damp earth replaced the stench of decay. My work wasn't over, not by a long shot. There would always be darkness, always be shadows lurking at the edges of the world. But as long as there were those willing to stand against it, to remember, to fight for the living, there would be hope. I notched an arrow, not as a hunter, but as a guardian. The Stormheart still beats.